Okay, I'll let you start. How's that?
Okay, so I'm Nohan Ortiz. I'm a student in Valencia, and I'm here with Lisette Ibar, who is an accountant, and she's also an insurance agent, and she's going to talk to us about her career today.
Okay. Hi, Nohan. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good,
How are you?
good.
Okay, so what's your current job? What's one of your current jobs? I know that you work in the insurance insurance industry.
Yes, I'm currently phasing out of the accounting industry into the insurance industry, and I'm working with an agency called PHP,
Okay.
and which stands for People Helping People. And what that industry does, or what the agency's crusade or mission is, help people understand money, how money works, how they can make money, how they can keep more of their money in their pocket versus paying it out in taxes or losing it in the stock market.
All right. What was your major in college?
I majored in business administration with a minor in accounting and also a minor in travel and tourism management. Now, don't ask me why I diversified so much, but I should have actually, my minors basically is what I started my career in, and then I ended up, once my kids grew up, I'm in the accounting realm.
A lot of people are confused about what to major in or what to do with their bachelor's degree. They think that sometimes they're studying in something that probably doesn't have a clear field. Do you think that your major really matters when it comes to jobs?
Well, let me tell you my clear aspect of now having worked in the industry for 25 years. I can tell you, Nohan, that if I have learned what I have learned in the last 4 months in the insurance industry, if I had known that 20 years ago, my life would have been totally different. I believe that colleges and universities nowadays don't teach young adults about life. They become book smart, but they don't teach them life. And clear path is that, or clear proof is that you've got so many students graduating with all these degrees, and they can't find jobs because there's nothing out there for them. Or they're being underpaid because they're entry level, and they either that or they're working in something that they didn't even go to school for. To top it all off, they get out of school, most of them, with a lot of student loan debts. And so no job with a whole bunch of student loan debts, and how are they going to pay this? 6 months after they graduate, they have to start paying on their student loans. So, but then if they have no job, how are they going to pay it? So, in my true, honest opinion, the past 5 months 4 or 5 months that I've been working with PHP, I've learned so much about money, how it works, that I can literally tell somebody, go to school if you want to go to school. I'm torn between telling somebody to go to school versus be an entrepreneur.
How important are internships?
Internships are good. I did an internship when I was in college. It gives you hands-on. I think internships, honestly, truly, I think if you're going to go study for a career in whatever path you want to take with your career, your life, and whatever you want to study in, I think hands-on beats classroom work. I think more colleges should bring that into their curriculums more, as far as get the students out on the field. Because you will learn more on the field than you will doing practical stuff than you will ever learn in classroom settings. You can learn everything a book or a textbook could teach you, but until you don't actually do it. So I think internships are very, very important. And honestly, truly, I'd love to take a couple of you students, your finance students, under my wing and show you what classrooms are not teaching you. Because what you learn in the field, doing it, is what literally is going to stick. You're not going to you're not going to remember anything about the study books. It's like algebra. You learn it because you have to pass it, but when do you use algebra in real day life? You don't. So you You learn it to pass the test, but then after that, you forget it.
A lot of people think that going into prestigious universities gives you a broader field or a broader opportunity. What do you think about that? You know, going to these universities that drown you in debt for 4 years and you get out there in the workforce, do you think they really...
You know, it looks good on a resume, but I'm going to hire you, if I were hiring you just because you went to Harvard, I'm going to hire you based on your knowledge, based on what you, you know, your skills. What do you bring to the table? I mean, I've got employees that have a high school diploma, and they outwork employees that have a college degree. So again, it goes back, for me, I think it goes back to getting the students out there more and getting hands-on. I'm very fond of technical colleges because they are teaching the practicality of a trade, and it's all hands-on. You know, you could study and read so much. Not that reading is bad. I love reading, and I love, you know, developing myself with reading. But textbook style, I think universities need to get away from that and get more into the practical end of teaching students a practice.
What would you say to students like me that, you know, find business interesting, but they're scared by the math, or they're scared by this work that has to be done in order to get into those courses that teach you the theory?
Well, let me tell you this. If you know how to add, subtract, divide, and multiply in the practical world, again, unless you're going into, you know, some, you know, career that's going to develop, you know, that's going to require you to do statistics or, you know, all this other, you know, physics or things like that. You know, if you're going to be a scientist, you're going to need to know all those formulas and all those how to get. But if you're going to just do everyday math, you know, subtraction, multiplication, addition, and division is what you're going to need. Learn the basics. Let's go back to the basics. Because when you go out in the practical world, I have graduated and I haven't used algebra again. In 25 years, what I've used, what has it been? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And then nowadays with today's technology, you've got Excel that does all your calculations. You got calculators, but you have to know the basics of how to get to things. But if you know the basics, get away. You can get around.
Passion versus money. A lot of students say, you know, well, my parents want me to have a good job that pays well. And a lot of students say, well, maybe I want to go in a way, you know, studying something that's passionate for me, that I'm passionate about. What do you think about that?
Oh, be passionate.
You're passionate about accounting?
I'm passionate. I'm passionate about finances, about helping people make money. I did accounting for 25 years. Reason I'm doing a career change is I found something that I'm more passionate about than doing books. And I wish I would have found this company earlier, but you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and I just happened to stumble upon it. And but helping people learn how money works and how they can make it work for them, and how they can better their financial situation in the present and also for the future when they retire, when the kids are out of school, where they go off to school, and when they, you know, when they get married and they got an empty nest and now it's time to retire. Because, you know, retirement is not an age, it's a number. And a lot of people think it's an age, it's not. You have to have a certain number to be able to retire comfortably. And being a baby boomer, you know, 10 to 15 years from now, I'm going down that pike. And how many baby boomers? There's about 79 million of them that are going to be heading for retirement in the next 10 to 15 years. Social Security is not going to cover our retirement. So how many are prepared for retirement? Or will we see the vast majority of baby boomers scanning groceries in a Publix, which is a grocery chain, or being a greeter in Walmart because they can't make ends meet, because it's about that magic number. It's not about an age.
Colleges make us work in groups, and a lot of people don't like it. How important do you think teamwork is, or has it been for you in your career?
I always say that you can't be a lone ranger in anything you do. You can accomplish more as a team then you can't be one person. Let's take it for example in our industry at PHP. I've got a lot of couples that work with us. They do this part time. I work this part time, and the couples will always out make calls than I will. They will always out call me. Why? Because there's two of them making phone calls, contacting clients. I'm one person. So when they contact 20 people, I only contact 10. So there's always a power of working in teams. Always. And in a lot of the successful industries that you see, the Apples of the world, the Facebook of the world, it all took a team. And it's a team that maintains those companies going. You go into an Apple store, you have thousands of people working there, from the back end all the way to the front. You've got different divisions, different people with different roles, but it's all working for a common goal. I think that teamwork will always outshine being a Lone Ranger.
The work and life balance. I know that now your kids are grown, right, and you're getting closer to that point of where you should be in senior level positions, for example, in some companies. How's the work and life balance for you?
I think my work and life, I love to work. So my work and life balance is always going to be, right now my kids are grown. I've got 3 grandchildren, and I do make time for them whenever business allows. Right now, since I'm in the transition of changing careers into a financial service careers where I'm helping people make money and save money and teaching them how money works, it's been a little hectic, but again, it comes back to that passion. I found a passion of what I love to do, which is help people. Combined with teaching people how to live on a budget, teaching people on how to prepare for their future now in the present and protecting their present. And that's been very passionate. So that drives me now. When you become an entrepreneur, which is what I'm moving towards, there's a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of first things that I'm going to miss, that I'm gonna have to sacrifice to be able to get the goal that I want to get to within the next 12 to 18 months. But in the end run, it's going to be worth it. So if you're passionate about something, go run hard, drive hard, hit that momentum and keep going, because you don't want to give up on something that you're passionate for, and it's going to change other people's lives.
You studied in Boston University, right? In the
Sure
80s.
did.
If you could have done something different back then, what would you have done? What would you
Wow.
have switched?
If what I know today, if the mentorship that I have today, I would have known back in the 80s, my career would have been totally different. My path would have been totally different. I would have definitely gone totally into the insurance world, even though back then the insurance, the face of insurance was a white Caucasian male in the early 30s. I would have never probably survived because I'm a female and I'm not Caucasian. But in today's industry,
Much more diverse.
it's very diverse, and on top of that, 59% of females and Hispanics. So the market's out there. And I think that females connect more in the family setting because they've lived it. So if I would have changed, BU was great, and getting a college education was great. Can I say that a college education set me up for life? No. I think life's lessons, because after I got out of college, I didn't pursue a career in business administration. I pursued a career for 15 years in the travel and tourism industry, and after that, started my journey in the accounting world. But has it gotten me where I wanted to be financially? Not, absolutely not. No.
So you said you have some goals for the next 12 and 18 months. What are some of those goals? You want to share them with us?
Well, absolutely. I think that a lot of of my goals in this new path that I'm taking, working with PHP, and in the next 12 to 18 months is to have my own agency, where I have agents that would work within the agency itself, have offices within my agency, and work to get to that 95% of the population that doesn't know how money works, and how to help protect families in their present and protect their future as well. Teaching them how to make money, how to save money, how to properly save money so that the risk is not on them, like in their 401ks that everybody raves about, until they find out that they carry all the responsibility of all the losses in the stock market. Last week or the week before, when the stock market dipped 839 points, a lot of people lost money. I've got clients that didn't, including myself. We didn't lose money. So teaching people how money works is what my future holds in the next 12 to 18 months, is building up an agency with enough agency, get the word out to help people that are in need of knowing how money really works.
Some students get some refunds from the Pell Grant or state grant scholarships that they get, and they start spending it right away, right? They say, oh, well, I already have a car, or I need a car anyways, but I'll just take out a loan. What's the importance of having savings right now at this stage, even if the savings won't go as far?
Well, let me tell you, it all depends on the vehicle you're going to put your savings in. Everybody, the first thing that they do is they run to a bank. And the bank, there's 5 things that you want to look for when you want to save money. Excuse me. You want to be able to have liquid.
Cash.
Liquid, yeah. You want to be able to access that money without any penalties, or without it going through a whole loop. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure your money is safe. You're not going to lose any of it, because this is your hard-earned cash. The third thing you want to do is you want a good rate of return. You want to make a good return on the money that's being invested. The fourth thing is you want to be able to pay as less tax as possible. Why not be tax-free? And the last thing you want to do is you want it to cover all your savings, any vehicle you use. You want it to cover your health when you need it at a later age. Those are the 5 important things of saving money. Has that been taught to you in school? No. Okay, and this is what I'm saying. This is not something the schools are teaching. Our industry, where I work at PHP, we teach students this at an early age. The earlier you can get in these vehicles, the more you're going to have when you retire. The earlier you can invest your monies in the correct vehicles, the more you're going to have when you have emergencies, when you get sick. So students, go to school, get a degree, but do it in something you're passionate about. And then get out there, and when you get out, learn how to save your money. Don't go spending it and splurging it on cars. Learn how to invest your money and make your money work for you. Because the thing is, it's going to come a time where you're not going to have those privileges. You're going to be working in a 9-to-5 job, and you're going to have more month at the end of the month than you have money. And unfortunately, the cost of living is going to always go up. With inflation, what's always going to stay about the same is going to be your income. Right now, in 1990, you had the average home income was $52,000. How much was gas? $1.12. Well, what's the average income now in 2018? $55,000 is the average income. So how much did the average income go up?
About 5%.
So, but how much is gas?
Quadruple.
$3. Okay? $2 to $3. So we see the cost of living go up, but salaries have almost stayed the same. They've almost plateaued. So if you don't learn now, when you're young, how money works and how to make it work for you with the correct, proper vehicles, when you get older, it's going to be too late. You're not going to have enough to saved up, and I'm going to see a lot of baby boomers, a lot of my classmates still working while I'm retired and enjoying retirement comfortably.
Okay, and last thing here, what's your advice for people that are thinking about the insurance industry or after this, say, I think that sounds cool, being able to help other people and being able to forge other people's finances for their future?
Well, I think that one of the things is that let me break it down. The insurance industry is the highest paying industry in the world right now, hands down. It is recession proof. It is not only is the highest paying industry is recession proof, but also it's the most gratifying industry. It gives you a life of significance. The life insurance industry is protecting families. In the present, when life changes, they're able to change within that change and still continue to function within the lifestyle that they have chosen to function in. I think that the life insurance industry as a whole is very rewarding because you see, I'll give you a clear example. Last week sometime, this past week, a cousin of mine that lives in Miami has got two young kids in high school. They're football players. One of their teammates, about 15, 16, maybe 17 years old, died in a car crash. And guys, GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. First of all, when you do a GoFundMe, they take 30% of everything that you make off the top. So GoFundMe is just making somebody else rich, based on somebody else's pain. So, but if that family had had something for that young man in place, they would have been able to cover funeral expenses and had something to possibly open up a fund or a student fund or something for a charity fund or something, a 501, something that they could have been able to give back to the community in the memory of their son. I think that life insurance is revolutionizing. PHP as an agency is revolutionizing the insurance industry. It's showing people the real true face of insurance. And it's an industry that'll never go bankrupt. It's one of the highest paying industries, and it's an industry that if you go to any downtown city, they've got the largest banks. They always promote and sponsor tennis matches, golf matches.
Philanthropy, right? Through philanthropy.
Yes. So, but it does change people's lives, and because it protects them. But when tragedy does hit, it leaves legacies, and I want to build legacies for families. I want to be able to say, 20 years from now, I want my granddaughters who I got life insurance policies for to be able to say, when they're 65, I am living off of the legacy my grandmother left me. And they do the same thing with their children and their children's children and their children's children. It's just a legacy changer, not only for the present but also for the future.
All right. Thank you, Lisette, for this.
You're very welcome, Noham. I wish you the best, and thank you for the time.
We'll talk after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about